Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome back to the channel. When it comes to IWC, I think we can all agree that it is impossible not to mention pilot's watch. Well, in fact, same goes the other way around when it comes to pilot's watches. The brand IWC is often in the discussion. History traces back to 1936, when Ernst Jacob Homburger, the owner of IWC at the time, who was a passionate pilot, created the first pilot's watch of IWC, the Special Pilot's Watch, aka Mach 9. Being a pilot himself, he understood what's needed in the cockpit: shatterproof glass, anti-magnetism, and rapid temperature change, etc. It laid a solid foundation for the legendary Mach series. Later on in the 1940s, the original Big Pilot's watch were produced, commissioned by the German Air Force, which has a large case size of 55 mm, a large onion crown which is easy to use with flying gloves on, hacking second for precise time adjustment, and a triangle with two dots at 12 for pilots to read easily when they are upside down in the air. All pilots' watches were simply put form-follow functions. IWC and aviation are simply inseparable. Not only in the history books, the brand is still working with the US Navy's fighter weapons school, better known as Top Gun today. Among so many pilot watches produced by IWC, only a few could be recognized as true icon. And the one we talk about today is without a doubt one of the most iconic of all time, the IWC Big Pilot 5002. This watch has a case size of 46.2 mm, thickness is at 15.8 mm, lug width is at 22 mm, and lug to lug is around 56 mm. It has 60 meters of water resistant with a screw-down crown, date window at 6 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock is the iconic railroad track style power reserve indicator, which said 7 but famously known for having 8 days, but IWC limited to 7 days to reduce the accuracy deviation between fully wound and the final hours. On this particular one, it has the old school IWC cursive writing clasp, and a recently changed fish crown when serviced last month. Also, I realized the hands and date window are so shiny now, they probably got repolished when serviced as well. The movement inside is the caliber 5011. It is the so-called slow beat movement, as you can almost see every tick of the second hand. It beats at 2.5 Hz, which helped giving this watch a long power reserve while featuring the Politan winding system to improve winding efficiency. In terms of accuracy, it gains about 8 seconds every day. This watch was released back in 2002, when case sizes in the market were getting bigger. This was the perfect time to bring back the Big Pilot, and IWC nailed it by providing the perfect blend of contemporary design with vintage charm. Among the 5 brands that produce watches to the German Air Force, if you want the ultimate original Flieger style, Laco and Stofa still got plenty of options to choose from. They pretty much look the exact same from the ones back in 1940s, which is awesome and simply irreplaceable if that's what you're looking for. Whereas the 5002 strikes the perfect balance between staying true to the original design and making some modern tweaks, with the addition of the date window and the power reserve indicator, which makes the watch more wearable in any outfit, and less out of place when you wear it in a more formal attire. With only the minimal look of a quintessential tool watch, black dial and white numerals, the devil is in the details. It's the design language that sets it apart from other big pilots, the 5004 and 5009. The polished hands and date window gives this watch a more vintage, classic look than its counterparts, and the longer markers and a more central focus design reduce the empty space at the center of the dial, which creates a big difference because the modern big pilots look even bigger with so much empty space in the middle. These design cues helps make the 5002 unique, and the cherry on top is definitely the slower beating second hand, just gives this watch that extra vintage vibe. And in terms of usability, this watch is top notch. The onion crown is already so easy to turn thanks to its size. The hands adjust super quickly, probably because the gears inside this movement are just bigger than most watches. The date change is super loud and crisp, which gives a very good mechanical feedback to your hand. And as famously said by John Mayer on Hodink's Talking Watches, this watch can be his bedside clock when traveling. I'm not someone who takes off the watch when working at the office, but this watch looks so good standing on its own that Sometimes I just take it off to use it as my table clock. And the long power reserve is always a plus, especially if this one has full 7 days. Here is a quick loom shot. All the hour markers are loomed, along with the triangle at 12 and of course, the sub-dial hand. Overall, the loom on this is much better executed than other big pilots. I have a 7-inch wrist and it definitely wears big, very big, but not to a point that I find it uncomfortable, and at a case size of 46mm, its legibility is unmatched. To be honest, if you're looking for a comfortable daily wearer, this is not the watch. It's like driving a car with manual transmission. It is never going to be as comfortable as an automatic gearbox, but that's not the point. And don't forget, this watch was designed to look big, so it's gonna look big unless you have a wrist like 15 inches. If you are looking for a pilot watch to add to your collection, the IWC Big Pilot 5002 is one that you shouldn't miss. It is as iconic as an IWC gets, and definitely one of the most iconic pilot watches. With the prices of bigger watches cooled off, as smaller cases are the trend now, it is quite a bargain to buy the 5002 these days. I bought mine for a little over 8,000 US dollars, and recently I saw one listed for around 7K. Of course, that's a lot of money to spend on, but when you consider this is one of the most iconic pilot watches of a brand with strong pedigree, it doesn't sound too bad, at least to crazy watch people like us. A little side story about myself and this watch is that I actually tried it on 2 years ago when I was choosing between this and the Top Gun chronograph. At that time I chose the Top Gun, which has been great and I enjoyed it a lot through the last 2 years. But that watch to me was like a hot and sexy piece that kinda missed that inner beauty or inner soul. So I ended up selling that and came full circle. And I'm not gonna let it go this time. As us watch nerds, sometimes it's these little stories that make a watch special, or that little bit more unique to us. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Feel free to share your stories down below in the comment section. And on that note, thanks for watching. Please like and share this video if you have enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content to come. I'll catch you on the next one.